Well, it's time for the hottest take I've ever had here on the channel, and hopefully, you all have some good points to counter my own. But I think it's okay to buy deals on Amazon for Magic the Gathering. Welcome on in, Dragon Folk. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I know I am. My name is Ashen Wings, and today we are talking about the controversy that is buying product from Amazon. So, yesterday, I did a little community post here on YouTube talking about the fact that there were some sales going on for Magic the Gathering. Now, as the day of this posting, I'm not sure if any of those sales are still live, so I apologize if you had missed them. I did not have the opportunity to make this video in a quick enough amount of time, so of course I could not update you, right? That is the unfortunate part about me having a 40-hour work week and it happening in the morning 9 to 5. So I do everything I can to make sure this information gets out to you as quick as possible, so keep an eye out for those posts. But I got a couple comments on this post, and I'm wondering whether or not the sentiment is known all throughout, and whether or not people even know that this is happening. Of course, just about all of us know that Magic the Gathering and Wizards of the Coast entirely, right? Wizards of the Coast has been selling Magic the Gathering product as well as Dungeons and Dragons product directly through Amazon to consumers, right? Completely bypassing the to the shipping of the store to an LGS, right? And then having the LGS sell that and make a cut of those profits, being able to buy this product at a distributor's rate, which is much lower than one would normally be able to. And that is normally the way things are supposed to go. But now we have Amazon, right? Amazon, good old Jeff Bezos is doing his thing. And it is, of course, right down to the bare bones. I'm not entirely a fan of supporting a billionaire because what the heck do they need more money for, right? But what I'm more adamant about is making sure that people are able to enjoy Magic at prices that they're willing to afford, or that they're able to afford, of course. And I sensed a lot of hostility from a few of these comments because they essentially had said, much along the lines of that I didn't care about the LGS and we should boycott the Amazon Hasbro direct to consumer concept. As to which I totally agree, right? If that were to happen and Hasbro was to cut ties with with Amazon, and they no longer sold that product online through Amazon and just went right back to giving it right to the LGSs, of course, I think it'd be a fantastic thing to do. That is what originally it was, and I would hope that at one point it goes back to that. But we're living in the age where people want things now. They want them at low prices, and they want them consistently all the time at any point they ever want them. And let me tell you, Amazon can afford to do that. Not only that, but Amazon can afford to take losses. Amazon is a multi-billion-dollar company. They can afford to make losses. And that is why having Magic the Gathering in the hands of Amazon is like nonchalant. There's no skin off of Wizards of the Coast for, having some issues with shipments or some boxes being broken during that time, right? Obviously, people got to pay their fees or whatever. But regardless, if you go online to Amazon and you see they were doing these sales yesterday, I'm not sure if they're going to do them today. They had Streets of New Capenna draft boxes for $72 before taxes. They had Innistrad Crimson Vow collector boxes for $115. They were even selling out-of-print Strixhaven draft and set boosters from this. Right? Even some of the collector boxes. Strixhaven's out of print, you guys. So they were selling those pretty cheap comparatively to where you would find them online. And again, this is an opportunity for Wizards to offload product that would more than not just sit in their warehouses and not provide any kind of profit, which is why they are doing these deals online, which is why I'm sure they're going to be doing them all throughout the end of the year, pretty much. I imagine we may even see them early January. Hell, we may see Amazon sales on Magic every month at this rate. And that's to be expected. They're going to have a lot of product. Right now, there's not many people buying Magic the Gathering. Not to mention, there's not a lot of people buying Magic the Gathering from LGSs because LGSs are not even able to get any kind of proper allocation for their locations. And that causes problems in and of itself. And of course, the LGSs suffer from that. Their distributors are not able to keep up with their demands, and they lose out on that. But they also lose out on the fact that they have to fight with Amazon, who could at any point make a sale on popular boxes in the secondary market, which, Wizard says that they don't watch, but I think we all know they do. And they can then just fire sale what they have in in their warehouse. And then every LGS, in order to keep up with that, would have to sell at that price or lower and make an even more significant loss because the prices of these boxes that are being sold on Amazon are less than distributor prices. They're less than what people were paying for at distribution. Well, some of them. I mean, the Strixhaven stuff definitely is right around distributor price, but that's because it's out of print and, you're not able to find it for that kind of price anywhere else. But essentially what I'm trying to get at is that the Amazon prices are always going to be lower than what an LGS is able to get at distribution. And yes, that's awful, right? That is awful. But what is it that we can do about it, right? Just don't buy product, okay? But if anything has shown, if Hasbro during that fireside chat is as correct in their numbers as they say, we have been talking about not buying products since the announcement of Magic 30th Anniversary Edition, and they've still hit their numbers, right? They just didn't hit their predictions when they were down 16% or whatever. They didn't hit their predictions, but they still profited. And that's because people are still buying the product. Because when you and I talk about this travesty that is occurring with Amazon and them, essentially selling boxes at lower than distribution pricing and causing all this havoc and chaos, who is listening, right? You are probably going, well, I support my LGS, so I only buy my boxes from my LGS. Okay. I want you to ask any LGS and ask whether or not they would be willing to buy boxes from Amazon for a cheaper price than their own distribution, strictly to keep supply in their store. Because I'm certain that they will. Several of you who own LGSs have spoken to me personally about a lot of this stuff. And you all have said that you've taken advantage of these Amazon sales because why would you not? 40% off most of any booster boxes is an insane deal. You can do several things with that. If you are a seller, you can crack them open and sell the contents. You're probably going to be making more inside the box than, what the box is worth at that rate, maybe. Then you also have to think about them just keeping them sealed, right? You're buying these boxes, and if they don't sell at your location, you at least have liquidity to get rid of later on. Because while the sale is happening right now, the sale will not be forever. And so those boxes will then go up in price as they stop being sold. So you're going to be seeing more and more upticks in price. And if it doesn't sell at your store, you invested in something that you could crack, sell the singles, you could keep, and just wait for somebody. Because, at some point, if you're planning on being open for a long time, at some point, somebody's going to come in there and they're going to go, hey, I heard about the set back in the day called Innistrad Crimson Vow. Did you Did you ever hear about that? It was like supposed to be some like, interesting vampire wedding set. Like, oh yeah, actually, I have some cards for it right here. I also do have some boxes available because back when it first came out, it didn't sell very well. But now that it's been out of print for a long while, people are wanting the cards. Think of how long it's going to be before these slow lands are reprinted, essentially. I am your LGS also buys from Amazon. If you're buying your product from your LGS and they bought it from Amazon, I don't want to throw anybody out there because it might not just be the case. And obviously, I'm not speaking for any personal LGS. But if your LGS purchases a Streets of New Capenna draft box for $72, let's say it's what? I don't know, 80 some dollars after taxes, right? $80 after taxes for a draft box. You know how many dollars a pack that is if they were to sell it to you per pack? Just the singles, just the single packs, like the loose packs. That's around $2.25 a pack before taxes. And guess what? They're probably going to charge you $3, $4 a pack because probably $4 a pack because they got to pay their overhead. They got to pay all this other stuff. An LGS is already going to be charging you a higher rate than online. And that actually turns away most people than you would think. It turns away many more people than you would think because there is not a total sense of loyalty for LGSs, right? I have a loyalty to an LGS for when I play Flesh and Blood, right? Min-max games, I've only been playing Flesh and Blood for like a month now. But Min-max games has been there and has always had the legendaries I need, but they don't always have all the cards that I need. Therefore, I need to look through other avenues in order to find that. And that's where you see things like TCGPlayer blow up and all this other stuff. And if, what are you going to do? Are you going to trace back the seller to make sure the seller didn't buy their box from Amazon to then sell to you? It could be somebody like me who's just sitting in my room organizing cards off of boxes that I bought online and are now selling the singles online. If those boxes were bought from Amazon, how would you know? Why would you care? You wouldn't. You wouldn't care. The product is getting to the people that it needs to get to. So I think that's really where the big twist is. Every LGS, you can support your LGS. Of course, you should. You should support your LGS. That's the important thing. LGSs are where the play space happens. That's where you go, right? So that's why a great way to support your LGS, if you're going to go have a Friday Night Magic at your friend's house, don't have it at your friend's house. Bring those people to the local game store and have a Friday Night Magic there. Even if it's so much as not entering a tournament, right? And you're just looking to casually play in some play space. Go do it at the locals. Don't do it at home. What about, going for pre-releases? How many of you go to pre-releases? That's a lot of money that goes to LGSs, but most people are now so overwhelmed with product they won't even bother going to a pre-release because what's the point? Like you're going to go there. You have to like limit it in order to really like pre-releases. So there's so much disconnect, right? I'm not going to judge an individual because they bought a box off Amazon, right? The only thing that you have to worry about when you buy boxes from Amazon, that's including any LGS, right? That's including really anybody, right? It could be somebody from Facebook Marketplace. It could be an LGS. It could be from all these other people. The only thing you have to worry about, especially with Amazon though, is the possibility of your boxes being tampered with. And of course, there are steps and regulations to that. Record your openings. Make sure that if you bought a box from Amazon, record your openings. And then that way you can show that to Amazon. And every single time anybody has said anything that they've ever had a problem with Amazon, they have gotten just a box for free from Amazon. Amazon just sent them another box. No charge, nothing. No returning of the product, just straight up sent them another box. Now you have a bunch of bulk, but you have another box on the way. And I've seen that occur more often than not. I've never seen somebody And let me know in the comments if this is you, but like, I've never seen somebody get a bunk box and then have Amazon go, hey, we're probably not going to, right? Like, you're full of garbage. There's no way this has actually happened. It's not like we don't have 1,800 freaking cases piled high with the product, of issues with this product. They run into this problem all the time, but they make sure that they can cover their losses because that's what Amazon does, right? That's on Amazon to make sure that that's the case. Because if somebody buys a box, they open the box, they take all the good stuff out of it, then they send the box back to Amazon as a defunct box, or a faulty box, I should say. Amazon workers aren't going to check the contents of the box. They never do. So they wrap it up. They make sure it's in whatever proper wrapping it needs to be. They send it out to the next person who wants it. And if that person has an issue, they go back to the main stock. They fault that box out and they just go, oh, well, that's not going to come back to us. We'll go ahead and just take the loss and you can get another box. This has happened all the time. And it sucks, yeah, for sure, right? But you're never overpaying for a box. You're still underpaying for a box. And your LGSs are underpaying for boxes, right? The fact these distributors, Wizards is not making the prices lower for distributors. The real people who lose out here are distributors, which, of course, you still have ties to people, because even though sales happen on Amazon, you're not guaranteed to get everything you want. Let's say if only Strixhaven was on sale and you have like a ton of Strixhaven singles and they just have not been moving. What do you care about Strixhaven? You're not going to buy more. Nobody in your store is wanting to buy more. Maybe you'll buy a couple draft boxes or something to keep sealed so that way you can always do like a draft event some point in the future. But it's never like immediate. I don't know. I'm not an LGS owner, but I feel like every time an LGS talks about having to take a loss, they don't realize that Magic the Gathering, really any TCG, is the only thing that you can keep for a long time and have it grow in value, right? Some product goes up faster. Some product is much slower to grow. But there is growth normally. And that growth is going to help your business at some point, right? That's why, look at Alpha Investments, look at Rudy. He's got a whole bunch of product. I mean, tons of product. And if at any point Rudy goes, you know what? I think it's time to get out of here. I can't, there are issues going on where I can't make money where I am in my business. So I need to sell off some of my assets. It's a good thing I have all of these really old Theros boxes that people have been begging me to buy for years. People will still buy old product. You'll have that liquidity. You'll be able to get rid of that in order for you to make up your losses. And that's business. That's business, baby. It's really, like I said, I'm not going to, I'm getting a little hyped up. But I think it's just because there's so much negativity in Magic right now. And everybody, including myself, although I try to keep a pretty level-headed, basic understanding, right, of things, there's so much negativity for so many different things. And it's almost expected that everybody is just like, oh, I need to know about everything that is this product or everything to do with this thing, or I need to make sure that these are the cases. Like, you are not going out there and talking to every mom or dad who is buying Magic the Gathering for their kid who has more interest in this card game than they do. And they're looking for a good deal so they can give their child a good Christmas gift. What are you going to do, right? I make these videos so I can specifically give out detail, right? I can give out information towards people because that's what we do, right? That's what I do. I love educating people in these things. And I'm here to educate you that I'm not going to judge you if you buy this product at Amazon pricing during their sales. Because what do I care, right? You're finding your joy in Magic. And I know it's rough on LGSs, but the LGSs are also buying this product. So now what? Are you going to go yell at your LGS and make them tell you how much Amazon product they bought during the Black Friday sale? Are you going to now have, I would say the worst thing to come out of this is you may have a little bit more distrust with buying a box from your LGS because they may have bought that from Amazon and it may have been tampered with. But you can always have them open the box right there and check the packs. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straight. Open it at the store if need be, if you're really that worried about it. There's a lot to take in when it comes to the negativity that's coming from Amazon. And don't get me wrong, if you can give your money to an LGS first, I absolutely agree. I think you should. I think you should make sure to support your LGS. Go buy stuff from them. Buy sodas. Buy sleeves. Buy cards. Buy bundles. Buy sealed. Or you can just show up to an LGS for a pre-release. That's a great way to support them. They get their promos out and stuff. They get to do, tick up numbers and things like that. It's going to be great regardless. And you're going to find ways to support your LGS. And I think you should support your LGS first and foremost. If there are not sales going on Amazon, obviously check with your LGS. But when there are sales that are incredibly good, I mean like insanely good, why are you going to judge other people for wanting to pick those up at lower prices? That's how you start investing, right? If you got a piece of stock at $95 on a regular basis, but then that stock dropped to $75, are you going to buy it even though it's a reputable company that is continuing to grow in sales? It's skyrocketing higher and higher. You could still buy that stock, and that stock could still pay out dividends. And at the end of the day, if whatever loss you have, the stock is different, right? The stock can fluctuate down more and more and more over time and eventually come to nothing. But Magic, it's just going to sit there and it's not going to do anything. You can just not touch any of your product and you'll be making money in the future. I just don't like investing in cardboard, I guess is really what I'm trying to say here. And investing is there's just better things. There's better things for you to do. So don't cry when there's Amazon sales, okay? Just know that your LGS is also taking advantage of these Amazon sales because that's good business. It's good business to get product at 40% off, especially when you can get as much as you want for your store. Most stores are only buying like a case worth, and there's probably thousands of boxes being sold. So LGSs they probably have alarms for when Amazon has deals. They probably have specific apps to tell them when that stuff happens. It's just one of those crazy things with all the negativity that's going on in Magic that people are losing sight of things that they can enjoy. And honestly, if some parent wants to go and get their kid a commander deck from Amazon because it's on sale for 30% off what it normally would be, buy it. Buy it for your kid, right? And if there's an issue with the product, go about the steps of returning it, and hopefully they'll be able to get you another one. But, this is just the way things are now. I don't expect Wizards to drop Amazon anytime soon, right? Not even within the next 10 years. I don't think they're ever going to. So I get that everybody's complaining about the fact that LGSs are dropping. LGSs are not able to keep up with these prices, but now they have another avenue to buy, right? Wizards no longer has to give their product to a distributor and then have that distributor sell to an LGS and then have that LGS then sell to the people. Now, if an LGS wants an influx of product, something to sell off in case they need to make margins of some kind, because let's be honest, they probably do, this is an opportunity for them to do that. Just like it's an opportunity for all of you who are just starting as sellers on TCGPlayer. $72 boxes, you really can't pass that up. Hell, $90 boxes, you can't pass that up. $115 Crimson Vow collector editions. There are cards in there that are worth a lot of money, like anywhere between like $20 and $40. And you're practically guaranteed a good portion of them as long as you're pulling lands and you're pulling any of the good zombie cards and Sorin the Mirthless and foil, showcase or whatever. There's always going to be something for you. And I haven't bought any products since Streets of New Capenna was released, right? But every time I see an Amazon sale, I think about it. I think about buying a whole bunch of boxes because why wouldn't I? I have a shop I got to tend to. I got to get product for the shop. I don't have access to a distributor, so I got to buy it from Amazon. Or I can buy from an LGS. But I don't have the money to even think about fathoming to buy a box. So unfortunately, buying a box at a 30%, increase at that point, going at about what? $110, $115 for a draft box. I think my LGS will forgive me if I purchase a box from Amazon. It's just that simple. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I feel like I did a lot of repeating myself on this one. And I am so, I don't know. I don't even know what I am anymore. I'm just like, I'm trying to keep it all together. And I hope this was still a very educational piece in knowing that it's okay to buy things from other avenues, right? As long as you're safe and you're understanding what the product is that you're buying and that product is what you want. Nobody's going to track down every single person who bought a box from Amazon and ban them from an LGS. That's not going to happen. You, the person at home who's just writing the comment like, oh, but that means you just don't care about the LGS if you're supporting Amazon. Listen, I wish I had the opportunity to take down a multi-billion-dollar company and allow them to pay their workers better. But I'm only one individual. And luckily I have a fantastic community behind me. And I hope that we can all talk amongst ourselves and have genuine conversation. I'm not going to turn you away if you don't buy product from your LGS. I suggest you do because LGSs provide something that most places don't, which is a place for you to play. And, a lobby of sorts for you to learn about the game that you love. And if you buy from Amazon, oh well, there's plenty of product out there. And that doesn't mean you're going to stop going to your LGS and supporting them by going to pre-releases or going to, just hang out and have a casual Commander night there. Maybe pick up some singles that the owner just got in. Or maybe you were looking to see whether or not somebody somebody turned in a tropical island or something for you to pick up. There's always something. You just have to look. You're going to make it through this, okay? Magic is not going to die anytime soon. There are a lot of people leaving Magic, but the people who leave will also come back. Not all of them, maybe, right? With Flesh and Blood being as awesome as it is. But it's something that just lives with you, right? It's the same reason why people take breaks from World of Warcraft. I've talked about this previously. Just enjoy the game you want to enjoy. And if it no longer becomes fun at all, if it no longer becomes fun to you in any way, shape, and form, if you've tried every avenue of playing this game and every single avenue has no longer been fun, stop playing it. Just stop. I promise you'll be happier for it. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. I'd be happy to hear from all of you. Again, we like to have open-minded discussion here. Please, no all caps, No, none of this crazy name calling or anything. I want to have genuine conversation with people. And I hope that you all can understand where I'm coming from. And hopefully this video made any kind of sense. So thank you so much for watching. You can always go ahead and support the channel in a more monetary sense by checking the description down below for our Patreon link. Of course, we've got tons of cool tiers over there for you to join. So if that's something you are interested in, feel free to come on by. But otherwise, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all very soon. Nerd out.